are able to fight, then your tenure obviously reduces at the crease. The chances to succeed reduce.
Well, more chances against Pakistan can help against this battery. Also, maybe exploring that opportunity of going to England and playing county cricket.
Yes, I mean, it was a great series and he made the headlines, and that's what you do as an opener against Pakistan. That's a lovely delivery, shape away, and it had more bounce this time. Just hang in there. I think that is what Afghanistan need to do. 10-run partnership of 22, and it is difficult at pace to manage that line and that sideways movement. Yeah, so making the headlines, and I think he did make the headlines with that powerful 150. Gets Afghanistan in the headlines as well for all the right reasons, and he's got to look to do that more often.
Beaten with a beauty. Movement away from the right end of the outswinger. 9 overs gone, 27 for 1, Afghanistan.
Look at the seam position and movement. This is a line where a batsman needs to commit. Such a difficult ball to handle.
Tough competitions coming up. The Asia Cup, the World Cup. At this point of time, Pakistan with 36 for 1. Afghanistan not far behind, 27 for 1. There has been conscious effort made to give opportunities to young and upcoming players from Afghanistan. Thinking about relaunching the Afghanistan Premier League. Ramesh, you worked there as an administrator, as a commentator. You've seen the development of PSL. You've been there as a commentator for IPL as well. How that type of competition can help in the development of players, especially for upcoming talent.
You see, it's a priceless situation for Afghanistan. Youngsters to share dugout with the internationals. With the guys who have made a name for themselves. Obviously, ideas will be shared. They'll get a lot of confidence sharing the dugout with the greats of the game. And it's good that it's happening in 2024. APL.
Solid in defense. 5 teams participating. And talent from different parts of Afghanistan. 34 provinces. They play cricket. It's been centered around Kabul, regions around Nangarhar. That might just give the inspiration to the talent emerging from the peripheral region of Afghanistan as well.
Not only sharing the dugout with the greats of the game, but they'll probably be taught about game awareness, how to read the situation, how to read a pitch, how to apply yourself. Look at Gurbaz, how well he's matured as a strike league talent. First preference at the IPL, first preference here for LPL, sought after striker. He plays PSL also. You can find 3-4 who can be the globe trotters for you. Then Afghanistan will be in good hands when it comes to playing the international circuit.
World-class spinners, Rashid Khan, Nabi Mujib, traveling around playing different competitions, and especially batters will get the opportunity to play against high-quality oppositions. The bowlers, experience of handling situations. Upishly played, just falling short of fielder at the gully position.
So I don't know why a gully is not positioned. And this pair threatened Babar Azam? No. Are they looking to dominate? No. Are they looking to survive? Yes. So if you're looking to survive, then you can be aggressive against them, and you are getting these deliveries from that good length area to rear up. Get that man in.
Short point in position. Third man on the boundary, just one slip. With the ball moving around.
Such a situation actually forces the captain to be aggressive. And it's a tailor-made situation for Babar to be aggressive.
Nicely punched into the gap. Should be back for third.
He's got a rocket arm, Naseem Jr. But it was threaded through beautifully. There's a narrow gap and he had to thread it. Very nicely playing that one. Hitting the square and that extra bit of bounce, making sure that the ball avoided that short point fielder.
Is there a nick? The finger is up. Ibrahim Jadran walks back to the pavilion. 30 for 2. Second duck for Ibrahim Jadran.
Yeah, this pitch is a difficult one. If you are a seriously good bowling attack, fast bowling attack, then your survival squeezes as a batting unit. The chances are slim here for Afghanistan to deal with that extra bit of spice, life, sideways movement of the surface. That one came back. Wobbly seam, feather edge to keeper's gloves. Easily done by the keeper. Shah is just about the right pace and the right bowler to tease you and send you back to the dugout. Jadran gone for naught, 30 for 2.
Hashmatullah Shahidi, the captain of the side, 97 being his best score, averaging 31, the first double centurion in Test match cricket for Afghanistan. Man for crisis, for difficult situations.
Play signal by the umpire. 4 players allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Pakistan would want more in the ring. They're bossing this. 30 for 2, Afghanistan struggling. He got a good one from Fahim Ashraf. It was a little fuller and it was straight, but awkward bounce, extra bit of bounce, taking the edge of the bat, and Rizwan making no mistake. Must be a confidence booster for Fahim Ashraf, making an appearance after 2 years. So when the bounce is variable, you've got to keep your bat very close to your pad, very close to your body, because let's have a look at the variable bounce. So what happens is, if you have a high wind, then you can miss the ball. And these are difficult deliveries to tackle. Well, that one scooting along, others are reared, and so what you need to do is to make sure that your bat is alongside your body. And you're looking to defend first rather than winding up to hit hard. I think your first line of defense has got to be block. And if you get an opportunity, see a bit of width, and then you can go hard.
A lot of adjustment to be made. Gorgeous city, this Colombo.
It becomes a mental game. It becomes a technical game. It becomes a game of nerve and temperament.
And awareness about what can be done on given surface, identifying the shots. Do they identify the shots before coming into bat, or just assess the situation, pitch conditions, because they keep changing at times?
I think you have this general map in your mind of how to go about batting on a surface like this. And then there was this great template of Rizwan and Babar as a pair. They were very, very cautious early on. Nothing happened for the first 10 overs when they were together. It was all about managing the situation and not getting out.
Almost chopped that one onto the stumps. Hard hands. Will pick up a lucky boundary.
Yeah, it's not a pitch where you play with hard hands. It's about playing with your wrist and playing it late. I'm sure the pressure of scoreboard and the run rate subsiding, dwindling a little bit, is causing a bit of stir in the mind of the batters.
Also, after playing false shot, erasing that shot from the memory, blanking the mind. Airborne. And the miss will prompt the batter to come back for the second, just a single. A boundary and a single from the over. 11 overs gone, 35 for 2. These are tough conditions to bat at the moment. Afghanistan are 2 down for 35 in 11 overs. Happy captain getting a half century to his credit as well. And his team has been responding well with ball in hand. A lot is happening up the pitch. Riyad's 22. Ashmatullah yet to open his account. Airborne coming fine. A streaky boundary for Riyaz.
Well, you got to be lucky to survive on this pitch. He was clearly late on that short ball. Lucky in the end. That could have been a top edge or a keeper's catch.
This pitch reminds me pitches in South Africa, Durban, or pitches in West Indies, especially in early 90s or 80s. You played in that era, Ramesh. How challenging was that for you?
Very challenging, because it was about self-preservation. It was then about surviving as an individual to make it for the next match, scoring few runs. It was extremely difficult. And early on against the Windies, when they were in their prime, we were a bit like Afghanistan is today. So every team goes through this. It's a rebuilding process for Afghanistan. It's about learning from match situation. It's about not giving up, about learning from this experience. And so if you got a 50 against West Indies, you know, when they were on top of the world, it meant everything to you, to the team. In fact, all the teammates got impressed, and you would sort of be picked again, unfortunately, against them for the series, because even if you wanted to be the 12th man, you couldn't. It's about having strong body language. I think a challenge demands you to have a strong body language. And that is what we've seen from Riyaz so far. He's not flinched. Get an awkward delivery every now and then. You can survive it and then, as you said, blank it out and move on.
Any interesting battle between bowlers and yourself in that era in West Indies, if you remember?
It was ball bossing us all the time. There was no conversation because you didn't last long enough to have a conversation.
The boundary of the first ball, 4 dot balls. Riyaz 26 of 45, patient, trying to weather the storm from the pace bowling attack of Pakistan. Ball is moving around in different bounds as well. A lot of challenges. He's coming back in the side. That itself is a challenge to cement your position in the team. Playing it late. Just 4 from the over. 12 gone, 39 for 2. Afghanistan need another 230 runs to win from 38 overs. Plenty of batters to come. 2 batters. Riyaz with good technique, relatively. And Hashmat with a lot of experience. Shahdab Khan, leg spinner into the attack. And this should be interesting because good player of spin bowling. Afghanistan batters.
This is their window of opportunity against spin. Pakistan not as heavyweight as Afghanistan spinners, so you can put them under pressure.
Attack straight away, get into the game. Required rate just about 6.
The other thing is that when you're forced into a shell, it becomes just a little bit tough to get out of it. Because you forget about aggression, you forget about how good you are against certain deliveries, certain lengths. For example, that full toss in a normal situation would have been put away for 4. But because they've been forced into it's not exactly submission, but forced into a defensive frame of mind, that you miss out on such deliveries. Somehow they've got to reboot, especially against Shahdab, and Nawaz will be on show very soon as well. Look at that, it reared from the good length, it had spin and everything, and difficult.
Getting the ball to drift and turn and bounce. Would there be a fielder, a short leg position?
My point is, who should be setting the field for these bowlers? The bowlers themselves, because they've played enough cricket to realize what works for them. They're reading the batsman better than the captain. They know how much the ball is turning or seaming around. They should be setting the field.
Oh, that ball, googly. Turn away from the left-hand batter. 3 runs from the over. 13 gone, 42 for 2, Afghanistan.
Next big event, Asia Cup, 30th August to 17th September. Get your tickets now, pcb.bookme.pk. It's a big event. Nothing can be bigger than Pakistan versus India, and they play twice at least, and then can meet in the final as well. A lot of countries are involved. Asian bloc, Sri Lanka won the last Asia Cup. They were brilliant against Pakistan in the final at Dubai. Nepal will be featuring for the first time in Asia Cup, so best of luck to Nepal. Afghanistan will be there, so this is a good series for them to learn from Pakistan, and what better to do next time when they are involved against Pakistan and in Asia Cup.
Afghanistan will be playing 2 matches in Lahore, and they spend a lot of time here in Sri Lanka. Conditioning camps, series against Sri Lanka. 8 teams playing here as well. Conditioned players for the situations, for the conditions for Afghanistan. There has been some planning behind staging the series here in Sri Lanka as well. Easily playing this.
I just hope we get better pitches here in Sri Lanka. You'll get great pitches in Pakistan, great batting surfaces. It's good in a way that they'll be playing a couple of matches in Lahore. They'll get some confidence, runs under the belt, and come here on difficult pitches. You can deal with that situation when you're in good form as a batting side. Deal with that a little better, what I meant to say. Good pace, 141 clicks. And that's the other thing about Pakistan bowling attack and some of the bench strength that they've got. Last time we counted, there were 14 fast bowlers in Pakistan circuit that could bowl more than 140 clicks. 140 plus. That is such a value.
Bounce. Also in Asian conditions, Australia coming to India and beating them in Indian conditions because of their fast bowlers. In the World Cup, Asia Cup, fast bowlers will have a big role to play against big teams with the possibility of dew as well.
I think in 50 overs cricket, you'll get the advantage of reverse swing as well. Pakistan are quite well equipped to bowl reverse. That'll be an added advantage to Shaheen Afridi and company. This fella is not bad. He can bowl wonderfully well with the old ball. Naseem Jr.
Hitting the seam, squared him up. That's what Afghanistan is also consciously working towards, finding the fast bowlers. 140 plus picks. They conducted fast bowling camp as well before this series. Guides it down to third man. Also, they got Navid Sandana in High Performance Center in Kabul. Train the fast bowlers. And we will spend some time with the Afghanistan fast bowlers before that as well in Abu Dhabi. A good crop of fast bowlers coming through. They need a little bit of training and conditioning.
Since the 2019 World Cup, Afghanistan's fast bowling has been impressive. It's just that so much focus is on Rashid Khan and Nabi and Mujib that they forget the value of fast bowling. And there are quite a few young upcoming fast bowlers coming through, as you rightly mentioned, with pace, with attitude. All they need is better game awareness, when to bowl a Yorker or a slow ball. That's a nice shot, beautifully timed. That will go and hit the fence in no time. Great end to the over. Afghanistan 47 for the loss of 2, and we'll have a little pause here for drinks.
Before the break, watching a mesmerizing shot from Riaz Hassan, we bring you here once again to Kabul. Picturesque view of Baghman, one of the spots that a lot of Afghans come to enjoy their time and have picnics around, with new constructions being built there. One of the touristic attractions with beautiful weather and nice views.
Also, Fidai, the great Mughal Emperor Babur is buried in Kabul.
That's right, and the place is called Bagh-e-Babur, which will mean the garden of Babur, where his tomb is. I'm impressed with your knowledge and history knowledge and all that.
I've got a match show, and it's a stiff contest. And you're winning hands down, by the way. Well done.
Thank you very much. That's really, really kind of you, Rameez. It's an honor being part of the same commentary panel with you, and we absolutely are enjoying your mesmerizing voice and the way you put words and you just add to the beauty of the game. Thank you.
I can drop the mic and retire now. That's gone past the man at shot fine. 50 comes up for Afghanistan. They need this. Bit of rhythm, momentum, bit of freedom to hit the ball. Overpitched and slicing it.
An excellent player of spin bowling, Hashmatullah Shahidi. He knows the areas, especially score of the wicket. Both the batters like to score of the wicket on the offside. Hashmat and Riaz, a partnership developing.
So this could be a good phase for Afghanistan. Just don't lose a wicket. Make sure you drag this now to maybe 100 for 2. And then it'll become just a bit easy to target that score.
It's drop and run. They follow the template laid down by Babar and Rizwan. Till the 30th, maybe 35th over, Afghanistan. They got batters in the dugout who can do the job. Ulbuddin in particular can get 50 of 25 if it's required in the death overs.
Pakistan through spin must look to pick wickets, and I think that's been an issue. Because after the platform is laid down by the pacers, the next in line need to be just a little bit more proactive and aggressive when it comes to attacking the opposition. This is a tailor-made situation, perfect situation for Shahdab to experiment with that delivery that will probably provide him with a breakthrough, maybe more flight, or try to bowl him between bat and pad by flighting the googly.
Massive turn. He's tossing the ball up, getting the ball to dip and turn and bounce.
Make him drive, force him to be on the front foot. Only then that extravagant leg spin or spin will work.
Nicely managed eventually. 15 overs bowled, 52 for 2, Afghanistan.
The required rate's gone over 6 to the over here. I know that Pakistan in their last 20 overs went at 8s. I don't think that this pitch is getting easier to bat on. There's significant turn, and for the seamers there is certainly some inconsistent bounce. And when I say that, the ball's going up, not necessarily staying down, it is going up.
Absolutely. It's been a test so far for the Afghanistan batters. Plenty of support for Pakistan today. And around the Al-Qamdasi Stadium, plenty of them. In the far distance. Beautiful side of Colombo. Plenty of good places to visit HG. We need for what?
You can go up there, can't you?
You could. This is safe to say that country is back to normality for the moment.
Wondering at what point here? At what point do Afghanistan say, right, we need to just pick it up a little bit? I know they will reflect on how Pakistan played and say, well, we can do the same. But inevitably, it doesn't really work like that. You want to try and stay as close to the run rate as possible. I don't want to let it get to 7 too quickly. Oh, that's quick.
I think with the new ball, especially the fast bowlers bowling the way they do, even Fahim Ashraf was getting it to rip through, and Mohammad Wasim bowling at almost 144 clicks. I reckon with the batters, it's important that not to be too positive too early. We all know how fragile the middle order of Afghanistan has to be. So what Mohammad Rizwan and Babar Azam did, these two pair in the middle, got to do that. The foundation. The last 10 to 15 knows if they can get 7 runs per over, they are still in the game.
But the problem for me is that if you bat at this rate, by the time you get to the last 10 or 15 overs, you won't need 7 and over. You'll need 10 and over. Because if they go at 3s and 4s, that will get to 7 extremely quickly.
Honestly, I think it's been a fantastic start so far, and the runs making has been really hard. After 15.5 overs, almost 16 overs, is almost equal. 58 for 2 Pakistan were. Similarly, I think it's very important these two batters get the foundation right.
Again, pacey. Into the 16th, 55 for 2. Riaz is 32 or 55. He's hung in there. He was thrust to the top of the order because of Ibrahim Zadran had been off the field for a period of time, so he couldn't open the batting. So what's happening at the moment here is we've just been informed that there's some technical difficulties going on at the moment with Hawkeye. They'll try and get them up and running as soon as possible. But the captains are being informed that DRS is not available at the moment. Two overs since the last boundary. And that is 2 overs since the last boundary. He's quite a cool customer, the captain. Likes to bat long periods of time. Got a double 100 in a test match. He got that double 100 against Zimbabwe in Abu Dhabi a couple of years ago.
One thing that he has to improve in international cricket is to play fast bowling. Most of the teams in Shahidi is at strike to use that bouncer, keep him guessing even in test cricket, even in one-day cricket. The length has been quite short. Something to be changed. That's something that Shahidi got to look after. But when it comes to spinners, he got all the strokes to survive.
Look, he had a very nasty blow in Bangladesh a few months back. Tuskin was the fast bowler, and Tuskin Ahmed. So that can sometimes have an effect on you, and take a little bit of time to sort of build up that courage again after you've had a nasty blow. You know, a lot of players get hit, but it was a nasty one for him. A fairly defensive field still, with the amount of spin. There's no slip. Very tidy over, just one from it, 56 for 2.
Googly bowled that time by Shahdab Khan. Don't think Riaz Hassan did pick it against the turn, but missed out. There was a 4 written all over it. The length was there as well as the line, unfortunately. It's been a struggle so far. 17 overs, 56 for 2. Fast bowlers running the show, invariable bounce, making batsmen uncomfortable. Even the spinners getting the overs through because of that.
Mohammad Wasim Jr. out for 14 and 4. They haven't used their 5th bowler as of yet, Pakistan, but their seamers are racing in here, all going over 140 kilometers an hour. So now they're behind Pakistan, or Afghanistan are behind Pakistan at a similar point. And that does concern me a little bit.
Skipper Babar Azam has the option of having one more fielder in the boundary lineup, maybe 2. In fact, 2, yeah. Still attacking Shahidi with a slip and a gully. Very impressive. Looking for wickets.
Disappointing really with the 2 deliveries there. The captain gives you a slip and has a gully, and the ball's around leg stumpish. It's a little too tight. I know that Wasim Jr. doesn't want to give Shahidi width to be able to cut him, but I think that Babar Azam was saying, look, I need you to go across the left-hander here. I feel he might just push at it.
Good point, HD. That's happened to me as well on playing days. As soon as the cow point comes forward, if the left hand is batting, gets too straight, don't want to give any width, but in this occasion, Shahidi is just hanging back in the backfield. That's where I think if he can bowl the sucker ball just outside the off stump, getting him to the front foot, that's definitely a wicket-taking ball. And you need to have the courage, and the experience matters too. I think Mohammad Wasim Jr. played enough cricket in this highest level to understand that. And get that line. Shahidi not moving his front foot that much, that will be a wicket-taking ball for sure.
I think Pakistan and Babar Azam at the moment are just quite content to try and get this run rate up. It's now at 6.5. As I mentioned to you a little bit earlier, just a couple more tight overs and it gets to 7, and it can get out of hand very quickly. By the time they get to those 10, 15 to go that you were talking about, they might need 10 and over.
Just hanging out of the back foot. Even that's not that short. Just back off the length, but Shahidi just batting so deep in the crease, waiting for anything short. And straight away after that stroke, the cow point drops back. Only 2 deliveries to go. Square leg goes down as well. Somehow Mohammad Wasim has to have the courage to pitch it up. The only criticism I have towards him, other than that, the pace, the bounce, the movement, all brilliant. But just that length in these kind of pitches, where it's helpful, it's important. Deep square leg and cow point. Controlling the boundary at the moment.
That's a good length, particularly for someone that's looking for the ball to be short.
Exactly my point. As soon as you get that cover, either side score of the wicket, the length becomes straight, much fuller. This comes with experience. Has happened to the best. This is where this young man got to learn as soon as possible. Plenty of fight for a spot with Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf having a rest. And this is where he has to grab the opportunity as soon as he gets it.
Again, quick, short, well played in the end by the Afghan captain. 58 for 2. Beautifully bowled. And the problem here for Afghanistan is that Shahdab is spinning it both ways. And now a slip does come into place. Yeah, this is better.
And the mid-on up as well, inviting the batsman to go against the turn as we speak. Shadab Khan signaling, I think, Saud Shakil to go back to long on. I would like to see him in the 30-yard circle, asking Riaz Hassan out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, but I think the reason behind the long on going back and the long off going back is not necessarily from a defensive perspective. I think what Shadab is wanting Riaz to do is push at the ball, is to try and push it down the ground for one, and in doing so, possibly the ball can go to slip.
Game of cat and mouse going on at the moment. Shadab Khan in the lead spinner. Still to bowl Mohammad Nawaz. He's a left-arm spinner. He's been playing a lot of cricket.
Partnership 28 of 53 deliveries. Not going anywhere yet. Googly. A maiden. 58 for 2.
Good over by Shadab Khan. The run rate without much notice, just creeping up and at a lot of pressure on the two batters in the middle as well as the players in the hut. Cannot let the run rate leap over 8 runs. It's important these two players find some out boundary, gets a single, show some urgency.
More spin. Salmanaga. Just wonder whether you'll get the same sort of movement from that far end. Some offies. Or fielded. The big fast bowler got down well there. That had beaten him, it would have raced away for 4.
100%. Did really well, Shaheen Shah Afridi. It was kidding off the outfield. But in the end, brilliant. That's what you'd want to see from your big fast bowler.
Again, he needs to get his length right here. Again, that field with the long off, which is the long off's very, very square, not a straight long off. But if he gets the length right, he's asking Hashmatullah to try and push the ball down the ground. He's busy man.
I tell you what, Babar Azam will do well to change Shah after 3 deliveries, cow point, or spinner bowling with a left hand on strike. That's a business line. And this is where Babar Azam got to be a little careful, look after his fast bowler, as well as get the best fielder possible with all means. The right-hander Riyaz Hassan, there's no slip field in the offside. Babar Azam shifting across to the leg gully. That will tell me that the line will be middle and leg stump.
The first real show of intent here. This is the bowler. Surely this is the bowler that Afghanistan will look at. Squeezed away. That'll be one more.
Right option taken by Riyaz Hassan. He's trying to go over mid-off. The first delivery, smashed it really well, but only found the fielder. Second, it was in the arc, but it was 2-4. Good getting through some cheap overs, Pakistan.
So just 2 from that over, and that required rate now touches 7. 60 for 2. Did well to get to 268. Pakistan, Rizwan and Baba were very watchful up front, and then the acceleration took place, and Agar and Nawaz, their partnership was instrumental.
Give you a small lead. Last 30 deliveries, just 8 runs scored. That's how well Pakistan have bowled. And for me, these two batters, it's going through the motions. Slog sweep, deep square leg fielder. Fakhar Zaman takes it. And this was on the cards, with the amount of pressure being added to these Afghanistan batters. In the end, pays off with Shahdab Khan striking, and a good catch by Fakhar Zaman.
Something had to give. Afghanistan were going nowhere, and eventually Riyaz decides it's on my shoulders. Just for a moment, Fakhar Zaman hesitates and then realizes, hang on a second, I can get this. Takes the catch comfortably in the end and gives Shahdab a well-deserved wicket. So Riyaz Hassan goes for 34 in 66 deliveries. Afghanistan 60 for 3. Shahid Kamal. So 2 left-handers at the crease now. We might see a whole heap of wrong-uns bowled here by Shahdab. But he's going absolutely nowhere. He's bowled 4 overs. He's gone for 9 runs. He really is spinning it. These are perfect conditions for the leg spinner. And we did say that throughout the Lankan Premier League, he had actually got tougher to bat at night. So often that isn't the case in day-night fixtures. When there's a little bit of dew around, the ball skips on nicely and batters love it. But here, it has not been the case in the last few weeks. It has become harder and harder. We've seen the seamers getting uncomfortable bounce, and now we're seeing the spinners getting plenty of turn.
Shahid Kamal is a good player. Did saw him during the ACC Imagine Asia Cup. Played really well. Played some important knocks, bowled well as well. And he's here. As Riyaz Hassan was trying to up the ante, trying to go probably over mid-wicket. The slog sweep, just getting the top edge And a good catch, Fakhar Zaman. Never easy under lights, dark skies, to run forward the way he did. Kept his eyes and did the damage.
Nicely bowled. Right, now does it fall on the captain? And when I say up the ante, I'm not saying you need to slog, but they need to get a little bit busier. So maybe a little lap where you could possibly get 2. And out. Now they are in serious trouble.
To the final lane in Afghanistan's coffin for this game. That was short, mid-wicket in, mid-on in, is written for a boundary. And the only thing Hasbitullah Shahidi did was to smash it straight to the short mid-wicket fielder. It's been a tough knock, 13 of 31 deliveries. That's how well the Pakistanis have bowled. Imamul Haq, easy as it gets. And Shadab Khan in 1 over breaks the backbone of Afghanistan middle order with wickets of Riaz Hassan first, and skipper Hasbitullah Shahidi is second. Frustration, disappointment, but in the end, there was Hasbitullah Shahidi gone for 13 of 31. Afghanistan in trouble, 61 for 4.
The Afghan all-rounder, Gurbaz Batting, was very good with the ball. Finds himself walking in at number 6. So still no Mohammad Nabi, which is a little bit surprising. I'm surprised that Nabi hasn't walked in, to be honest. I know, he's the most experienced player. Gurbaz Batting's only just come into the side. I know he's played plenty of cricket for Afghanistan, but just drafted into the starting 11 now.
A great opportunity for him. He's having a tough battle with Asrutullah Mirzai as the seam bowling all-rounders berth. Bowled well, 9 overs for 36.
Well, maybe that is why he's been sent in. Into the 21st, 61 for 4.
Bowled well for his 9 overs, 36 for 1, and he's here because Hasbitullah Shahidi with mid-on up, mid-wicket up, just couldn't clear it. High in the bat, the pace off the pitch was quite quick from Shadab Khan. And Imamul Haq, the awkward height, made it look so easy. Got a start, but just couldn't kick on. The Afghan skipper.
Yep, it skipped on. It just got onto him a little bit too quickly and hit high up on the bat. No power. He looked disappointed, didn't he, the Afghanistan captain? But 13 off 31. I honestly think he was starting to pile more pressure on his team. I mentioned to you a little earlier when you said that they need to hang in there and knock it around and make sure that when they get to the last 10 or 15 overs that they need 7 and over. Well, what number are we talking now?
Someone has a player blinder out of their skin. That's exactly what they would need. Now with the bowling attack what Pakistan possesses, even a left-arm spinner yet to bowl. That's a great bowling lineup. Remember, 2 of their frontline bowlers, quicks, aren't playing either. They would have been licking their lips, looking at the pitch, the way it's bouncing, seeming to have a ball in this.
Rizwan thinks that this just hits the pad first. I'm not sure it is. I think his bat might just clip his pad. But I don't think the ball hits the pad first. And Babar Azam agrees with me.
Really, really close to that pad. Replay will show us.
got him this time. And Gurbaz Batting doesn't even wait for the umpire's decision. Afghanistan now are in all sorts of trouble.
That was a good catch by Mohammad Rizwan. Salman Aga is firing it in. Good length. Nothing shot in the end, but a good catch, Mohammad Rizwan. Going with the turn, looking at the ball till the last moment. Gurbaz Batting bowled really well. That was a fantastic opportunity to stake his claim, but in the end, gone without scoring. Afghanistan 62 for 5.
So it is Mohammad Nabi that makes his way to the middle now. The most experienced player in the Afghan lineup. I was a little bit surprised that he didn't walk in earlier. Strike rate of 85, which is very impressive in one-day international cricket. But he has batted up and down the batting order, various positions over the course of his career. This was a good catch. There was quite a thick outside edge here. Yep, snaffles it. I got you. Good catch.
There was some deviation. But Rizwan, brilliant to take. And after that delivery, Gurbaz Batting brings himself to the slip area. It's a good thinking. I think the short fine leg fielder is moving across to the car point area. Dominic is going to be the one going with the arm. Oh. I think 3 times the fielder, I think it's Shah Shakil, was at fine leg, car point in the end. Gurbaz Batting makes up his mind. It's going to be a car point fielder.
I'm actually surprised at this field. So he's got 5 on the offside and 4 on the leg side on a surface that is actually turning quite significantly. I would not be against the man at backward point moving into a fielding position on the leg side, maybe even leg slip. If Nabi tries to get the ball behind point, he could lose his stumps.
Exactly for that, I think. HD, one goes with the arm. 22 gone, 62 for 5. Good point you brought up, HD. It was a ranked turner, and Salman Aga likes to turn the ball much, but I think he just likes to fire it in. And most of the time when you bowl in that line, cow point, even a forward defense goes to that area, a thick outside edge will be a boundary. So that's a risk that Gurbaz Batting don't want to take. But I'm with you. Would like to see, especially with Mohammad Nabi, just into the crease, a leg gully, playing with his mind, playing with his ego.
So Shahid has had to watch the carnage from the other end here. He's 2 or 4 deliveries, the left-hander. And this keeps happening. And you can also understand he wants to play the game at his pace.
Right, temptation for Shahid. Down up, mid off up. He'll take it up. First ball, shahdab Khan, googly. Invitation is being offered.
The problem for Afghanistan is they've lost 3 quick wickets. 1 at 60, 1 at 61, and 1 at 62. So these 2 now almost need to try and rebuild. And in doing that, that required rate will go up even further. So the rebuild still needs to, there still needs to be runs scored. Can't just pack the ball back.
Benefit for all our viewers. Last 30 deliveries, 4 runs and 3 wickets. That's how well Pakistan have bowled. And the Afghans are bad. Unfortunately, got to say this. They've been completely bamboozled by spin at both the ends.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, but I don't think it's been the easiest pitch, the easiest one-day pitch to bat on. It took a real gritty performance from Babar Azam and from Mohammad Rizwan to give them that platform which allowed them that acceleration towards the back end. But it wasn't easy, and it continues to be tough.
I think that's why HT, after today, most likely Pakistan will be the #1 team in the world. Going gets tough to senior players, put their hands up, get the job done, takes responsibility.
So just a single off that over. That's 23 gone now. Afghanistan are chugging along. That's 63 for 5.
$63 for 5. 206 still needed. 27 overs left. Pakistan have done well here today, as the previous crew were just saying. Good fight back with the bat. Got more runs than maybe they would have expected halfway through the innings. And now pressure is on Afghanistan. They've lost 5. Real struggle to get the runs on the board. Real struggle to keep the run rate up there. It's dragging behind at the moment. So Shahidullah faces the left-arm pace of Shah Afridi. The edge, just dropped short. Taken on the half volley, taken nicely, taken cleanly. Nonetheless, on the half volley. Yeah, someone had slipped it well, actually. It was, he knew it wasn't going to quite carry. A little bit wider. Knew it wasn't going to carry. Tried as best you can in those conditions. He has so little time to do it, to get his hands a little bit further forward, try and get underneath it. But in the end, had to accept that the half volley was going to be as good as it got. Watch this now. Tries to get forward with the hands a little bit, but there is only so much you can do in that time. Yeah, well bowled. And this is where it is such a privilege in many ways for Babar Azam to be able to say at this stage of an innings, you've got 5 wickets in the bag, to be able to say, right, to Shah Afridi, come up, step up, see if you can get another one, just keep the pressure on. You've got the pace, you've got the bounce. And it's been a pretty immaculate over, actually, so far. Found the edge first ball, one a little bit wider, but no runs from it yet in 4 balls, and he's been threatening that outside edge throughout. Still keeps the same line. Just the one, though. There's a lot of ifs there. 24 overs in, 64 for 5. I'm afraid it's not as though he's been in the runs.
Look at that for a view, a mesmerizing view from Afghanistan. Been gifted with the beautiful nature of Afghanistan.
Oh, sorry, Fidai, where was that? That was Bamyan, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Right, 64 for 5, 24 overs gone. We have another change. Mohammad Nawaz played a very handy knock with the bat, lower down the order. Left arm spin now has a chance as well.
It was the partnership that helped Pakistan compile 165 runs in the last 20 overs. The clinical thing in the innings of Pakistan was the way they built the innings when Babar Azam and Muhammad Rizwan were out in the middle. They absorbed the pressure. And once they had the platform, they capitalized on it. And the result is that now they have such a huge total on the board. They're very comfortable what they have put on the board after their first innings batting display.
Well, they're treating Nawaz with a fair amount of respect. So this is what's known as gentle left-arm spin. We've seen the real spinners of the ball in action at various stages of the day. He just kind of rolls the fingers over the top. Relies on sort of line and length and just subtle varieties. Slides away off the outside part of the bat. Now, saw a few misfields in the field earlier with Afghanistan. That's one of the ones we've seen now with Pakistan as well.
I mean, you often hear welcome boundary, will say welcome misfield for Afghanistan's cause. At least it's been 63 deliveries since they have hit a boundary, and they've only been able to get 7 runs in the last 30 balls. So they gotta have to do something if they are really thinking about chasing this big 203 remaining runs to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the reason for that lack of runs in that last 30 balls, as you were saying, is the wickets that fell. 3 wickets also fell in that same passage of play. That's what takes the heart out of any innings for any team. And let's face it, with the situation it is, the ones will not be enough. 67 for 5, halfway through. Yeah, this is one of those chases where I think everyone recognised it would be a tough chase. One of those chases where you hope that enough men contribute. But if you look at the scorecard, I mean, top score so far for Afghanistan is Riaz is 34. There's a 5, there's a 0, there's a 13, another 0. Those are not the scores that get you towards a target. Well, Naseem Shah not playing today. Babar Azam was and played a part. This man just loves playing all the time. Shah and Shah Afridi. Now umpires coming together. impossible to tell from here what they are discussing out in the middle. Okay, we've had this earlier as well in this innings. Hawkeye is not operational. So DRS suspended. Technical reasons, technical glitches. Apologies, dear old Hawk. So yes, so DRS will not be available at this stage. Umpires are still talking. We've got third umpire on the field again. He's ordering a cab for later. Yes, annoying, irritating. And DRS very much part of the game across the globe, across the world nowadays. And we've seen it used effectively today. Just for now, we'll have to do without it. Right, Shah and Shahdab preview. Good full face of the bat presented by Shahidullah. At 7 from 20. Nabi's face 5 yet to get off the mark. Going to ask Fidai not to look at the required run rate, because it'll just upset him. But I'll tell him it's over 8s.
That's true. It's a big task, but then only tough times can make the tough men. So it's out of such situation, if you can take your team out, you get the recognition. You've been playing cricket for so long. You've represented Afghanistan across the world, playing international leagues, have a lot of experience. So if there are hopes to be made from, particularly between these two, would be more from Mohammad Nabi. It's, as I've been saying, not an easy task, but at least need to start showing the intent. Need to start taking overs, 6 runs in over, 7 runs in over. Do not take risks. And see if you can drag it a little forward, and then at one stage, maybe you will see that it becomes probable.
I'm going to have to ask you the obvious question. Given the circumstances...
It's tough. It's not. From the cricketing viewpoint, this is not an easy task. The bowlers are in good rhythm, and on the top of that, the wicket's been behaving. There's been really big bounce on the wicket. And at times, we've seen uneven bounce as well. That is going to further create second thoughts in the mind of the batsman. So it's not an easy task ahead of him. But then what can you do? I mean, you always need to play for the win. So it'll only be a matter of time to see how they can adjust according to the situation, and see if we could at least start seeing some intent from both Mohammad Nabi and Shahidullah Kamal, and try and pursue the target. Make your best effort. Let's see what happens. Well, if anything is going to make it more difficult, these short pitch deliveries. And Afghanistan not being very comfortable with the short pitch deliveries, you wouldn't be expecting him to take on the short pitch. And I think one of the other issues was that when they start going after the bowlers after the 20th over, they decided to go after Shahab Khan. Maybe Salman Ali Agha could have been an easier option to go after. But then again, it's just a tough day in the office for the Afghanistan cricket.
Well, there is a bit of a truism about all this. 68 for 5 after 26. And that is that most of the time, not necessarily 100% of the time, most of the time, a strong side up against a less strong side, I'm keeping it as simple as I can here, will come out on top. Afghanistan, I give them immense credit for all they've done over the years. You know, from the inception of the Afghanistan national team to where they are now in a World Cup coming up in a few weeks' time. and with some brilliant players, some absolutely brilliant players. But the depth isn't quite there when you have a team like Pakistan in this sort of form. Mohammad Nawaz again, second over for him. If you're talking about anyone trying to make an inroad into this Pakistan attack at the moment, this is the gentlest you'll get from Pakistan. Gentle, rolled left-arm orthodox spin.
I really, really doubt he's not one. He's actually he's been one of the attacking bowlers for Afghanistan. He takes wicket and he bowls wicket to wicket.
Let me put it
another
way.
option.
Let's
get another one.
Give me pads, gloves, and a bat, and I'll show you what I would do.
Of course, you would just rock out there. As
No. I'm not saying that. Not saying that. But of all the options, I'm just going to tell you this: of all the options out there, he's no mug. He's not a mug at all. He gets the ball is in the right place pretty much all the time, for sure. But if you're going to try and make some sort of impression, use your feet. You can get down to him because it's gentle pace. Yes, there'll be tiny varieties, but you can get down to him. You can use your feet, get yourself in position, at least play some shots, and that would give you what you're asking for.
I think looking at all the bowlers that Pakistan has, you need to come out with the mindset, believe that winning is not everything. Winning is the only thing. Once you have that mindset that I am pursuing to win the game and not to just play 50 overs. Absolutely, Afghanistan need to hold their heads high. The way they performed in the second ODI, that was phenomenal. The innings from Rahmanullah Gurbaz was one for ages to remember. But given circumstances, I think they need to start looking at what are they chasing, at what pace they need to start calibrating their chase, because it just can't work this way. If you're wasting overs, not getting enough runs, not even getting 6 runs, it will not take you anywhere.
Well, there are many phrases that deal with the situation. They are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. $71 for 5. Yeah, it's turned into an absolute struggle here. 16 runs in the last 11 overs. The scoring rate has dropped almost as far as it can, but that's the pressure that Pakistan have applied. All credit to Pakistan for the way they've done that. The key is taking wickets, and you keep the pressure on and you get those wickets, the pressure builds yet again. It's self-fulfilling. Tough for both Shahidullah and even for Mohammad Nabi, who might have been around for 15 years of Afghan cricket. He might have seen it all. He's been there at times, special times for them as well. But even the experience, even all that talent, still going to be tough for him. The odd run just coming off the outside part of the bat. It's just one of those situations where it just seems as though Pakistan can do no wrong and Afghanistan just can do no right.
Unfortunately.
Indeed, indeed.
Fans across the world want to see competitive cricket, so it's important that they put fight into this for me at it.
A quick word about Saud Shakil. There was talk earlier, Ramiz, for instance, was talking earlier that he was unlucky not to be in the Asia Cup squad. He's now in it. So whether it was the power of Ramiz's words on TV or just a logical response in the think tank, in those that are responsible for Pakistan cricket, he has now been included in the squad. So good news for him.
There we go. We just see the confirmation. So Shakil has been added into the squad, and he just showed to us how he plays. Well, I believe it's important that the talent get recognized and get ample opportunities.
Indeed, it wasn't his day today. He was run out ran himself out really sadly, for 9, I think it was. Trying to steal a single, had to be sent back, was nowhere near when it was Odi Gurbaz who threw the stumps down. One of the talents that Ramiz was talking about actually is that he's a very, very good player of spin. And in both the Asia Cup and the World Cup that follows, slow pitches, potentially spinning pitches, potentially lots of spinners around, that skill will come in handy. Oh, that was close. That's a thick inside edge onto a pad. He's got to hurry through for this second, which he does. And those are things you have to do under these circumstances. You've got to keep pressing, keep pushing.
Well, they picked the wrong fielder. Mohammad Wasim Jr. has got a rocket arm. But at the end of the day, they make it safe and they have to start taking such risks. Well, you talked about Saud Shakil, although his stay was very short, but the way he played, first ball he faced off Rashid Khan, opened the face of the bat and scored a out. The next over he faced Mujib Zadran, and it seemed he was very comfortable against them. So, yeah, certainly a very good prospect to watch out for in the upcoming Asia Cup matches.
Yeah, just a half-hearted acknowledgement that the ball has gone past the outside edge yet again. Rizwan's been fully involved in this game, both with the bat and behind the stumps. Right, 74 for 5. 28 overs done. We're going to have a drinks break. Slightly extended drinks break, I hear. Okay, an extended drinks break. We have a few technical issues we've been trying to sort out during that as well. But play can restart. 74 for 5 after 28. 195 needed. Little top edge, perfectly safe, drops way away from that man down on the boundary behind square on the onside. Just to reiterate, we have no Hawkeye at the moment, therefore no DRS. So those decisions better be right. Well, Mohammad Nabi has not played a shot in anger yet. 3 from 13.
You think that'll be the trigger? Anger?
No.
I'm just joking. I mean, something needs to just give, right? Say, all right. Mohammad Rizwan, come on, say something. Somebody make him angry.
Well, that's good. That's a good catch. I think he's just got his hands underneath it. Imam will hack again. Nabi's walking off slightly disconsolate. It might be some sort of attempt to double check, but I think Imam is confident. I think Pakistan are confident. It's a good piece of fielding.
Yeah, Muhammad Nabi deciding to milk this for a single, goes aerial, and what a catch. What a beautiful pick that is from Imam ul Haq. They've been really good in the field.
Well, he is one of the sharpest for Pakistan in those positions. Mohammad Nabi then 3 from 15. It gets worse for Afghanistan, 75 for 6, and he's on his way. Next man in, Rashid Khan, who at times has certainly enjoyed himself with the bat. Whether these circumstances tonight will provide him with an opportunity for more of those times, time only will tell. But in his career, he averages just shy of 20 in ODIs in those 73 innings. Has made a 60 and not out 60. Steers that away very nicely, just rocks onto the back foot, steers it away nicely for his opening single. Going back to Nabi, who's trying to steer this into the offside. It's a little bit underneath it, just carries, but that's very sharp from Imam. .76 for 6. Yeah, there's a real feeling now that it's all about the last rites for this game and for this series. Pakistan would appear to have complete control. I mean, the only things that can happen now, for instance, are that Rashid will decide that he's going to have a bit of fun and play a few shots. But 76 for 6, not a good place to be. So for the record, it's 193 still required. That's a lot of runs at any stage, let alone off 126 balls.
What makes it more difficult is the number of wickets that Afghanistan have lost. Losing 6 wickets in this cause are never going to be helping you. I mean, if you even are requiring so many runs, and if you have kept your wicket intact, you'll still think that you have an outside chance. But with almost no batsmen left in the tail enders to come, it's quite difficult. I mean, the least that you'd like to expect is some entertainment, Rashid Khan to hit a few sixes, a few boundaries, at least give something to the viewers. And then if that can give you a chance to be able to get close to the target, then it's just a bonus.
Big heave. Going to bring 2. Yeah, I think you're right in the sense that from now on in, the cause is lost. The cause is a dead duck, and there's something just unbelievable happens. It's one of his shots, one knee on the ground, the other one positions it to get away the sweep shot off that back leg almost. So it's the first boundary for a mere 91 balls. Break out the champagne.
I'm going to take that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some entertainment. I mean, intent shown. Try to kind of improvise. It was too short. Rashid Khan get himself into the position and plays it fine for a boundary.
Yeah, good luck with that one. That's tossed a little bit wider. There's big turn for Shahdab. This is the difference between someone like Shahdab and Nawaz. Nawaz just rolls the fingers in orthodox fashion. Shahdab gets real revs on the ball. So if it does bite like this, look at the revs there. Oof, you see, it's got revs, it's turning. So whatever Rashid is trying to do, he's got to kind of guess at the bounce and the turn. You never know how much it's going to turn, but you know it is going to turn. Miscue, oh, just wide. Didn't get hold of it one little bit. So close to yet another chance. But it's the end of the 30th over, and it's 83 for 6.
Was a valiant effort from the fielder at mid-wicket.
For 6. I know everyone sort of feel that the game is gone for Afghanistan, but I'm just a little bit perplexed about how they've gone about the run chase. I know it's a difficult surface, but here's an example. The lap shot is something that we see used so effectively around the world, and we see all these inventive strokes in T20 cricket. But almost there's this fear of getting out here from the Afghan batters.
Yeah, we haven't seen any intent. This innings has meandered. We haven't seen boundaries flowing. We haven't seen the strike being rotated. One-dimensional. All defense. But it's good to see Mohammad Nawaz slowing the pace, flighting the ball. It wasn't the case in LPL. He was darting the ball in. Looks a different bowler, Mohammad Nawaz.
Well, that's gone fine. Should get 2 and will. But it's been a good run out as well, though, for Pakistan and their I suppose you would call them the backup seamers. He's certainly not a backup seamer, Shah Afridi, but the others. And what is impressive is what Pakistan actually have in their bowling ranks, their depth. I mean, it's not like these young men have come in and bowled the ball at 130. They're all above 140.
Oh,
What reflexes, what in anticipation from the wicketkeeper. Brilliant.
Yeah, you're right. The bench is quite strong as far as the Pakistan team is concerned. We spoke about Naseem Jr. How about Ashraf? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. A bit of pace offered by Mohammad Nawaz. And the length was short, allowed the batsman to rock on the back foot and punch the ball. End of the over, it's 88 for 6.
It's been really struggle for Afghanistan batting department. Different types of bowling. Fast bowling at the moment. And also the spin bowling, the type of spin. Aga trying to toss the ball up to the batters, creating more opportunities. Getting the ball to turn and bounce off the surface. Tone was set by the fast bowlers.
Well, the fast bowlers set the tone. 260 was always going to be challenging on the surface. And bear in mind, Babar Azam at the toss said he felt 290. Everyone looked at the surface and thought, well, this is a lot better than what we've seen over the course of the LPL. But actually this evening, it's been real tough batting conditions. So yes, it might be easy for us. So we're struggling to understand how Afghanistan have gone about this run chase, but they've certainly had the worst of the conditions. It's got progressively harder.
Yeah, Hilton, you were here for LPL as well. Oh, that's it. Hit with power. Cleared everything. He's one man who's showing intent, Rashid.
First 6 of the innings from Rashid Khan. Leg spinner to leg spinner. He's a positive player and can deposit it long way. Determination in execution of the shot. Rashid show.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question. Isn't it strange that everywhere we went, the pitches freshened up under lights? Behaved differently. But in the second innings, the faster bowlers, they were actually getting a lot of help from the surfaces. What could be the reason, Hilton?
It's dry. The surfaces are dry. Rashid recognises the length's right here for him to play that stroke. And that's what we talk about intent, is that's a mistake from Shahdab. He's just over-pitched. It's a wonderful stroke. But others have not been prepared to take that sort of risk or try that particular type of stroke. This will be overthrows. I'm a little bit concerned, though, with Rashid playing those sweep slogs and sweeps with the Asia Cup and World Cup around the corner with no helmet on. One top edge. Oh.
They're showing everybody no fear when it comes to his cricket. Aggressive bowler, aggressive batter.
He's tidied up the over well after going for 6 over mid-wicket. 97 for 6. Nawaz is going to keep going here. These 4 overs have cost him 13. Rashid Khan's donned the cap. Well, this should be out. This should be out. Shah Afridi takes the catch. Nawaz has got one.
He tried that helicopter shot, but the left armour got a bit of purchase from the surface. The ball held in the surface, a bit of grip and turn for him. And that was more than enough.
to pick up his second wicket. Good to see Nawaz flighting the ball and getting some turn.
Simple catch eventually taken by Shah as he celebrates a wicket. Wickets continuing to tumble. Different conditions, different types of bowling. Rashid Khan goes for 16. Afghanistan tottering along, 97 for 7. Afghanistan coming into this tournament in this series against Pakistan with a lot of expectations. Mujibur Rahman, the new batter in. At the age of 22, he has made a lot of impression with his bowling inside the power play overs, in death overs as well, with his accuracy and variations. His team needs a contribution for some respectability for the batting.
Yeah, nothing notable with the bat for Mujib. And he has to improve his fielding as well. It has become an arduous task for these batters. Now plays the first one confidently, Mujibur Rahman.
So Afghanistan coming into this tournament with the expectation of showcasing their batting skills against the best fast bowling unit in the world. Also, a lot of expectation from Pakistan batters as well. People were questioning their ability to play quality spin of Afghanistan, one of the best spin bowling attack. In the first match, totally dominated by Pakistan in batting and bowling department. But strong response in the second match at Hambantota.
Yeah, the Afghan batters have blown hot and cold in this series. First game, they really struggled against the Pakistani fast bowler. There was a sea of change. In the second game, able to put 300 runs on the board, but once again failing, chasing a target. That was nicely held by Shah Afridi. It's just a matter of time now. Just a matter of time. 3 wickets to be picked up by Pakistan. And Pakistan will be top team in ODI cricket. They'll topple Australia from that table.
Driven down the ground, just a single. So that tells us something about their ability, not the ability as a batting unit. It's about finding consistency. What all things needs to be done in order to find that consistency as a batting unit.
Yeah, that's where they have lacked consistency with the bat. They have bowling unit.
Hello, team. 99 for the loss of 7. Yeah, 3 wickets away from making it as a top-tier side in the world in ODI cricket. That's pretty special. And they richly deserve this because they worked extremely hard to get there.
And there was a talk in Pakistan to remove Babar Azam as the captain. Talking heads. He's been very impressive tonight. Fahim Ashraf, given an opportunity, how well he bowled with the new ball. The bounce he extracted from the surface, the deviation he got. Superb effort.
Slip in position. Pulled. Sort of vacant space on the onside. Will eventually get a boundary. And 100 up for Afghanistan.
Indifferent kind of batting performance from Afghanistan, and they must control these spikes where they look brilliant on one day and then absolutely lose it the other. They mashed Pakistan for a shot to shot in that Hambantota heart-racing thriller, but here they've been found wanting.
one who brings the ball back into the right-hander.
And it's this time a boundary.
Entertainment galore. 16 of 8, 6, smacking one. That's taking his front leg out of the way of a slower delivery and smacking it to that region through the onside. One bounce for 4.
Yeah, so far he has faced 8 deliveries and he has scored 16 with the help of a couple of boundaries and then a 6.
Oh, another one. This is turning out to be a pretty special over for Mujib. It's a 6. It's a flat one.
It was flatter than flat. He just nailed it. Packed away from the leg stump, got the length, and he comfortably pulled the ball. And sailed over the boundary line in no time. Finally, a bit of entertainment. That has been the most expensive over of the match.
It's been given a wide. He was drawing away from the line to once again clear the front leg.